Hello, my name is Brittany Black. I'm a sustainability intern with the Office of Sustainability at California State University, Dominguez Hills. In this presentation today, we will be talking about sustainable procurement. Learning outcomes associated with this presentation will be to understand and be able to define sustainability and sustainable procurement. We will also consider the ways in which you're currently making procurement decisions, and finally, identify new ways to integrate sustainability into purchasing decisions. What is sustainability? Sustainability is the ability to meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. The triple bottom line and the 3 E's are two methods or theories recommended to businesses in order to operate sustainably. Within this framework, the three elements of people, planet, and profits are considered equally important and crucial to the sustainability of a company. In the 3 E's, environment, equity, and economics are similarly important, just a different terminology and way of getting the same message across. What is sustainable procurement? Sustainable procurement is more than just conscious purchasing. It is the consideration that every purchasing decision we make has an impact, both locally and globally. Our purchases are just one step in the procurement process, but they do play a major role. Our current considerations when making purchasing decisions are price and quality. For example, a consumer might justify a high price if they perceive the item to be of high quality. They might also consider purchasing a lower quality item if the price is low enough and they perceive that as beneficial in their purchasing. To purchase sustainably, one would have to include sustainability considerations such as the social, environmental, and economic impacts associated with goods and services used or purchased by an individual or society. The 4 aims of sustainable procurement in supply chains are: 1, to minimize negative impact of goods or services; 2, to minimize demand of non-renewable resources. And we do this by reducing the purchasing of non-renewable resources or items that use non-renewable resources, and by encouraging purchasing of recycled goods, as opposed to using virgin materials in our products every time. And number 3, to ensure that fair contract prices and terms are applied and respected, meeting ethical, human rights, and employment standards across the globe. Number 4, to promote diversity and equality through the supply chain. The role consumers play in sustainable procurement is important, and the decisions we make to purchase fair trade items, socially responsible items, ethical items, environmentally friendly items are all very important, but our economy's model is equally as important, if not more. Those green products must be there for us to purchase them. So if we look at the linear economy, all the way to the circular economy, we see that a great shift must be made to achieve sustainability. In the linear economy, we extract raw materials to be produced and used and ultimately to end up in the landfill. In a reuse economy, which is mostly where we would probably fall, as we value recycling as the solution to our garbage crisis. But we are finding out more and more that that's not simply the answer, because most items cannot be reused infinitely the way that we make them, the way that they are made. So we extract raw materials and we produce items such as plastics, and plastics cannot be melted down and reused indefinitely. They will break down over time, and they do end up in our landfills and our waterways, and our circular economy, which would be the ultimate, would be throughout the entire process considering the ultimate use and end of a product. Can that product be manufactured in a way that will make it easier to repair or reuse, or potentially be recycled in a way that all parts of the whole can be reused? Today, items like our computers, our cell phones, are manufactured in a way that they become outdated very, very quickly, within a couple years, many times less than that. This is an unsustainable model in our economy that must shift. We must also consider the real cost associated with our purchases. The price tag we see is just one cost. It's hard to imagine the other costs associated, but using the triple bottom line or the 3 E's and considering the social, environmental, and economic costs associated with our purchases, we can better understand the true impact our purchases and our purchasing decisions make. The life cycle analysis is another way that we can better understand our role in the process of achieving sustainability. By considering where our products come from, as far back as the raw materials, mining and extraction, all the way up to the perceived end of their life, we can better understand the impact of our purchasing decisions. Asking ourselves the following questions: where did this product I'm considering purchasing come from? What resources went into making it? Where is this item being shipped from? What types of greenhouse gases are released and associated with the mining, shipping, transferring of items far distances? And if we are purchasing these items online, which many people across the world have shifted to doing, consider all the packaging. That's another cost that we are incurring, as this packaging will end up in our landfills or even our recycling facilities, both of which we pay to dispose of. So that is one more external cost that is not associated immediately with our price tag. Another question to ask yourself is, how long will we use this item? Typically, the raw materials that go into an item took hundreds, thousands of years to come about. And we might use this item for even just one time, single-use plastics, or maybe our cell phone for a year until the newer iPhone comes out. Think about, what is the true cost of taking those materials, using them for such a short amount of time, only to use up their useful life and throw them somewhere to never be useful again. And the final question, what happens when an item's useful life ends? Many individuals believe that their items are recycled, but recycling is a business. Recycling can only go so far. There is always waste associated with recycling. Items cannot be recycled indefinitely. They will degrade. Plastic especially, and plastic is the item that we see most ending up in our waterways, ending up on our streets. This light material that answered all of our problems 60 years ago and has only become more and more prevalent in our society, has become a problem. And the manufacturing of plastic is continuing. And as a consumer, you could make the decision to purchase recycled plastic containers if you have to purchase plastic containers, but also try to see where one might be able to limit plastic in their life. So why practice sustainable purchasing? Our purchasing decisions are so very important. Our dollar equals a vote. If we purchase items that are ethically sourced, that follow a sustainable business model, that benefit society, that pay fair wages to the hardworking individuals that contribute to our society, we are encouraging that type of business model to continue. If we purchase items that are destructive for our environment, that pollute our environment, that are so cheap because of practices such as child labor, practices where individuals do not have health benefits, do not make enough money to feed their families to survive, we are encouraging that type of business model. It is extremely important to consider where you are spending your money, because that will contribute to that type of business continuing. Your dollar is your vote. So the sustainable procurement takeaways from this short presentation are to consider the life cycle of goods. Where did your item come from? Where did the raw materials that went into making it come from? How long will you have it? What happens when you throw it away? Does it go to a landfill? Does it go to a recycling facility? Does your county even recycle certain kinds of plastic? These are many things that many individuals do not know and are extremely important to achieve sustainable living. And also, what are the associated costs? How else are we paying for these external costs other than in that cheap price tag? Where are those other costs? And if you're not maybe paying those, who is paying those? And is that right? We can also give preference to sustainable products. Look for recycled content markers. Look for post-consumer recycled paper, Plastics, when you must buy those. There are certain certifications that can help signify where it's harder to know exactly where your items are coming from. But if you continue to buy items packaged in recycled packaging, these companies will hear you by your dollar vote. They will hear the importance of using and reusing the plastics that have become so ubiquitous in our lifestyles. We must also avoid unnecessary consumption. And this one is hard because in the world of Amazon, it is so easy for so many of us to have much more than our grandparents, than our great grandparents ever dreamed of. But maybe that's not the best way to do it. And we have found out, and we are increasingly finding out more, that this is not sustainable. This is not benefiting us the way we thought it would. Consider instead thrift stores, secondhand items. When you do this, you're taking items that would just end up in the landfill, and perfectly good items that just end up there because they were purchased for a low price, so we don't feel as bad letting them go. Maybe save up and buy that more durable item, that item that will last longer, and maybe even be able to be resold when you're done with it. A better quality item. Over time, these things will save you money as well. It's beneficial. It's thinking in the long run and thinking of the bigger picture. And finally, avoid single-use and disposable items as much as you possibly can. They are not sustainable. The landfill does not dispose of your items for you. When you throw away your single-use plastics and your disposable items, they go into a hole in the ground, and this is not sustainable. This cannot carry on forever. So think about these things, and doing the little that you can, I think we can all make a bigger difference. And if you're still not convinced, consider the climate summit. So as many things are today, everything becomes political, whether you want it to or not. So okay, what if the climate isn't in as much dire need of our help as scientists have found evidence it is? Okay, say that it is a big hoax, as it is in this cute cartoon. But look at all the beneficial items up on the board that come from shifting towards more sustainable living. We become energy independent. We can preserve our rainforests. We create more jobs, green jobs. We have livable cities. Our air is cleaner. Our water is cleaner. We are healthier. And the list goes on and on. So think about if any of those things are important to you and your family, and the decisions you can make to live in a sustainable way, and think about sustainability when making purchasing decisions. Thank you very much. I hope you liked the presentation. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to let us know at the Office of Sustainability. You can email us, you can give us a call, you can check out our website. And there's also a quiz in the comment section of this video. Thank you very much for your time.